Hi, I'm Leslie Strachan. I'm one of the Learning and Development Managers for SimVenture Evolution, and my job is to really bridge the gap between the technology and academia to help people actually integrate the software into what they do. Recently, I was working with an academic from University College London. What they wanted to do was integrate the software into their apprentice program. And there were about 160 students, our first year students, and the idea was that they were going to act as a consultancy and win a prize to go on to the finals of the IBM competition. The software itself, SimVenture Evolution, was appropriate for this event because what the academics wanted to do was get some real life experiential learning, something that would really challenge the students, something that would make them feel really deeply and think very deeply about what they were doing, and to be able to come up with creative, innovative solutions. And the software did all that for them. The software initially was quite a useful training ground for the academics who are planning to use the software in their module in September. But even more importantly than that, the academics were actually stunned by the amount of focus that the students had on the simulation and how they engaged in this experiential learning activity. And they actually said they'd never seen anything like it in terms of student engagement. So that was really good fun to watch. I think what was the most important thing for the academics was to watch the groups work as a team. They were in discussion a lot before they made decisions. They were quite surprised with the level of engagement in terms of actually being focused on the learning, because they were actually learning for themselves in a deep way rather than some of the surface learning that takes place. And the students themselves were highly engaged all the time, and that for me is the key to learning, that if you're engaged with it, you learn more. And it was a great pleasure to watch them all working together as a team. When I was going around watching the students, one of the most important things that I noticed was the increase in discussion and negotiation. And I'll give you an example. They had to set up a company name and a strapline and a logo. The students got out flip charts, they got out bits of paper, they were talking, analysing, they were discussing what the company name was. They allocated different roles to each other as well, so they could actually go off and explore what a marketing manager did or what a CEO did, and they negotiated their individual roles so that they could bring the best skill to the team. And I think that aspect of working together and collaboration is actually what future employers are looking for. And that was nice to see the students actually doing that. They were in groups of 10, there were 160 of them. So we had 16 groups who were getting up, walking around, chatting, discussing, negotiating. And that was really lovely to see. The highlight of the UCL event for me was watching the students going from knowing nothing about the software to having had some training in the morning to being fully immersed and engaged. They were laughing, they were joking, they were quite serious. The academics were stunned by the amount of engagement that the students had with the software. And not only is it an experiential learning activity, but it's also a great amount of fun. And for me to see students having fun while they're learning is quite an important part of the learning and teaching aspects that I would expect students now to have. And because we're working with digital natives, SimVenture Evolution is perfect for that, because they're just immersed all the time. And the interesting thing was that when you ask them to go for tea breaks and lunch, they just won't, because they're so committed with trying to get highest on the leaderboard or get the best gross profit and seeing what others are doing. The best fun bit for me was when the team captains were trying to go around spying on the other competitors to see what they were doing. And that was a bit of a laugh because there's lots of then hushed conversations going on. So for me, it was the whole atmosphere. It was vibrant, it was alive, it was fun. The students were engaged, and it was a really lovely 2 days that we had with UCL. Yeah, the UCL event involved about 160 students at level 4, which is their first year students. My vision is probably that this can be expanded. So in terms of numbers, there's no higher number. So we can do several hundred, but that obviously needs better planning and preparation, and it needs more people involved in the event just to make sure everything runs smoothly. We did a survey at the end of the simulation. The verbal feedback as they were coming out of the room, they were coming along to me, they were shaking my hand, they were saying, "Thank you so much, that was great, we really enjoyed ourselves today, and it was a great opportunity to be part of this event and a great learning experience." So it'll be interesting to see what the longer feedback will look like. I'm looking forward to reading that one. For me, I learnt a lot from the UCL event. First of all, being faced with 160 students to train in a couple of hours was a bit of a, oh my God moment. But that was fine. We had a plan and we worked through it. I learnt that facilitation was the best method of training these students. And instead of telling them what to do, we facilitated them understanding what they had to do. So in the end, I learnt just to walk round, just to help them, to support them, to inspire them, to give them some ideas, but for them to take part in the whole experience as a business team. And that was lovely for me to watch.